so long it's like alchemy.
And while the Golden State machine racks up win after win, Kyrie, now clad in Celtic green, will try to lead his new team to equal, if not surpass, the domination of the mighty Warriors.
And that's what most players do when they step on the court in Oracle, pray. We talked about this kid, the rookie, kind of hitting a wall, and he played heavy minutes in this game, but he didn't have much of an impact. But Boston would still remain competitive. And Jaylen Brown, I don't think Golden State accounted for his offensive skills very well. Look at him here early on. The closeout and then the finish at the rim. Remember, the Cal Berkeley product wanted to perform well, but he's aggressive and he's very confident. And you can see early on the trap on Kyrie, you kind of got to live with the Al Horford three. It's such an ugly shot. He doesn't shoot it that great, but what I loved was Steph had this thing circled on his calendar. He came out right away. Usually he kind of works up a lather, right? That wasn't the case in this game. There's Jaylen Brown again, and you see KD kind of staying down, anticipating the drive. So I don't think that they gave him enough credit. You hear me a little raspy here on a Sunday morning. Steph, corner three, and Jaylen Brown heard us. He was the sidekick to Kyrie all night long, and here is the dude. And look how low he gets. He's the lowest to the floor player I've seen in the game, and that allows him to be strong in his base. Draymond hit his first three, and it was really fool's gold. I didn't like the threes that Draymond took in this game. KD, look at the closeout. This is what I'm talking about. That's usually a much more clean look for Durant. Now watch Klay force this. Watch him go into the help, and it's essentially a double team challenge. That was just a foolish play by Klay, and he forced some shots early. This Boston defense is for real. Here's a look at the rookie. This is his game right here. Not only can he hit the spot up three, but he has a nice mid-range fadeaway game that you really can't get to his shot. But again, those legs, he's got to refine them. And here's KD again. Watch the challenge. Horford, hand in the face, right? Those are usually clean looks for Kevin Durant. He wasn't missing easy shots. They were tough shots. More Kyrie, low, off glass. I think he's a lot stronger than he appears. Watch Horford run out of Draymond. You see that? If Draymond is getting the guys to run at him, that means you drive. We don't want Draymond taking contested shots, and that's why we just want him shooting them enough so guys run out at him, and he didn't take advantage of that in this game. KD hits 1-3 here, and it was just a hot start. The game was beautifully played, more Kyrie, and he's very James Harden-like in the sense that everything is on his own time. He's never sped up, and that allows him to get where he wants. Klay, again, terrible spacing off that curl, and the contest, Bane challenging at the exact right time. Here's Horford in the block, and there's Jaylen Brown. And again, Durant with a late closeout on him, and that's his second foul. So it was just a rough start for KD to start this game. He heads right to the bench. I think we got to change that scouting report on Jaylen Brown a little bit and look at Steph aggression. So Boston's big. They've got big wing guys and forwards, right? But not really shot blockers here. Rozier battled with Steph all night, and it didn't matter. When guys play hard man-to-man defense, they're more susceptible to screens, and I want you to start to take notice the trend of where Kyrie lets his threes go from, where his heat map is. It's very LeBron-like. Steph again. And then here's the closeout. Look at Kyrie hustle here. I will say this. Have you ever seen him dive and hit the floor in Cleveland like that? I think you can see and you can sense the responsibility Kyrie feels with this Celtics team. Looney, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. That was a lob. You got to be ready. I know he's not exactly a quick leaper, but he should have been ready to catch and finish that. Again, the heat map. It's that left elbow. Both he and LeBron, when they catch it there in triple threat, chances are they're shooting a three. More Jaylen Brown scoop finish on the other side. And this 1-2 combo had us on our heels in the first half. Iguodala in for KD here, and this was his sole shot of the game. He was 1 for 1, and that's not a good stat. He passed up several layups at the rim, and then this happened. Nick Young, no. I'm not going to lie. That would have been, I think, the play of the year. If old chunky butt Nick Young would have reverse slammed that like it was his Washington days. But, hey, I like that he tried it, right? I know y'all got up off your seat when you saw that. And maybe that's just showing that he's feeling a little more bouncy. Jaylen Brown, and I was shaking my head like, okay, he don't shoot this well. So KD leaving the game early with foul trouble. He started the second quarter, and he gets this basket to go. Not easy, right? But I almost like that rotation a little bit better here. This was a call that was like, uh-oh, right? That was a clear foul, and I thought KD was going to maybe get frustrated. He did well to contain himself. He wasn't shooting well. He wasn't getting calls now. Here's the double down on Al Horford. I don't necessarily agree with doubling Al Horford all the time, and then Klay plants off 2 feet and spikes it. My God. No, I'm kidding, but that was a rare dunk from Klay. Livingston needed to take advantage of his size more in this game. He had a few nice plays, but with their small guards, I would have loved to see Livingston get more shot attempts up. But this second unit moved the ball and went on a nice run to start the second quarter that pulled us even with Boston after they were up 10 in the first quarter. Timeout from Brad Stevens. But more Klay. This is just lazy basketball. Instead of working to get to where you want, he just settles for the spot that Rozier pushed him out to. Like I said, Klay was just sluggish. Sometimes it happens. Here's another double team. And I know Al can score, but he's a reluctant scorer. He doesn't really want to get buckets, so I'd rather just make him a scorer rather than doubling and giving them three-point shots. And here he is, the low, slow rhythm in the scoop. So difficult. It's just, I'm still just baffled sometimes how he does it. Iguodala, this is the quick flip you need. You see that rhythm pound dribble and gather he makes? It costs him every game. Just flip the shot up. Guess who from guess where? He started off 7 of 7, and it was just something to see. Now Kerr finally orders the trap, and they're successful with it. That's, he's not exactly a big guy, so traps can be effective. It's not like he can see over the top of them. And then this is something Steph did very well in this game. These young guards, you see how he held up right there? That's a Chris Paul move. He slowed down to draw that foul. That was what he wanted on the play, and that's what he got on Rozier and Tatum several times in this game. Now, Draymond, Horford's closing out on you. If he's coming towards you, you can go by him. Don't settle for the three ball. He did just too often in this game. Klay swings it, and Steph was just in rhythm. He woke up in rhythm. He's like, I woke up like this. The pull up, no hesitation, the stroke, and he really kept us in it. And it was blow for blow between he and Kyrie. Rozier, clutch three to answer. I like this kid out of Louisville, man. He and Donovan Mitchell, I've said it before, what are they putting in the water at Louisville? But Tino sold his soul to the devil, and the price was cheap. Steph answers in the third quarter. What I liked was he came out and he realized we needed him. None of this share the ball, get everybody involved stuff. He was going, KD wasn't, so it was clear, let's go to Steph. And they've been running that backdoor play. Now take a look at the spacing. You see where Kyrie has to pick up Steph for the pick and roll, so that pulls Horford further away from helping, and then it opens up the three, and that's just the gravity that is Steph Curry. That extra 2 or 3 feet is devastating in the high pick and roll. KD backdoor cut and finally gets an easy one, right? He didn't hang his head. He was still intense on defense, so I will give him that. But, hey, everybody's going to have those type of games. Kyrie just walks him down into a three and gets it. And the dude, it's like the effort, it seems like it's almost effortless. Steph attacks the lead foot, and there's Bane. He's too slow to be a weak side shot blocker. If Boston's going to make a move, it's going to be for a shot blocker. Then, for the third game in a row, it's the undercover lobber. Zaza with his third alley-oop below the rim and in 3 games. And here's Klay. Let's credit Klay. He struggled offensively, but he had a few possessions on Kyrie where he was like the only guy that kind of made him struggle. There's a familiarity between the two, and then Klay just being a solid defender. Here's KD sped up. When I talked about the effort, right, all of a sudden he's exerting a little more effort than he's used to. And then I don't know about y'all, but I was tired of this telecast talking about fouls and whining, and then they bring in this schmuck to explain to us why they're right and we're wrong. Miss me with the propaganda, more Steph dancing, splashing. And these two, it was blow for blow all night. One thing I will say, Kyrie, I feel like he has to exert more energy to get buckets than Steph, right? Steph just the flick of the wrist, and in a long-term series, how will that play out? Looney only 9 minutes. There's the pause and the finish at the rim, but we're going to need him in a series. He's going to play if we meet them in the finals. And then I love this. Omri Caspi returned in this game. You see him hammer Tice on the offensive rebound. If you're the 8th or 9th guy in the rotation, use those fouls. Make somebody feel you when you get in the game briefly, and I love that Caspi with the hard foul there in his brief showing. Now watch how hard Larkin has to work to stay with Steph. This is vicious here. Fighting and circling around, picks, another one, slips, hits, and then he still gives up the 3 ball, the demoralization that is trying to guard the chef. And then Al Horford, Looney. This is what I'm talking about as far as Looney in a series. I think they're an interesting matchup, and I think they have similar games. You see Looney here to finish the third. You got to finish this. But if I were to tell Kevon to study a player, it would be Al Horford, right? They both look like they need WD-40 in their joints, but they're still both effective players. To start the fourth, the nice pick and roll, Draymond with the finish. Jaylen Brown and David West, he kind of has to gap him, but when you let him rhythm pull up from there, that's going to increase his percentage greatly. David West, that's usually an open elbow jumper, the contest from Tatum. And then look at Larkin. Look at the scouting report. Look at him jump there. He knows Livingston likes that little pogo pull up, but he did it prematurely, and Livingston made him pay. But it just shows you how well Boston scouts different teams. Kyrie, pick, roll, Horford, like I said, he'll get buckets, and he's clutch. But he's not necessarily a guy that'll just keep scoring on you. You have to defend him, but I want to credit Kyrie for not just trying to take over late. He was still moving the ball. Durant, huge and one out of the timeout. Boston had cut it to 4, and like we said, Kerr's going to go to KD out of these timeouts. Larkin swing, and it's the rookie Tice from the corner. I'm telling you, these young guys are ready to play. Another thing to add to the scouting report is if you notice, most of Kyrie's threes are out of the triple threat when he still has a live dribble. It's not so much dancing with the ball. It's more in the triple threat, but Steph would not be outdone on this night. And I was so proud of dude, man, because this would have been the toughest loss to me of the year, honestly. We could not have lost this game. It was very important, and the Warriors played that way. Look at this defense, and then the extra closeout from KD from cross court, and then the box out from David West. Like I said, the second unit maybe didn't score, but they were very physical and locked in defensively. Iguodala finished the damn shot, man. So Draymond does what Iguodala should have done and attacks the rim. And he just puts guys in bad spots when he doesn't take the shot that he needs to. You see Jaylen Brown bulldoze his way to the rim. He's got that Dominique physique, man, inside out. KD, huge free throws, and he clanks one. You see it's a 1-point game, 2:40 left, and he misses it. Now, here's KD on the defensive end, though. He gets the block on Horford. So like I said, he didn't hang his head. He was miserable on offense. He didn't hang his head. We get the 24-second shot clock violation, and it's a tie game with 2 minutes left. And here he is in the post, ice cold. And I was like, uh-oh, are we going to force it to KD? Kind of reminiscent of the Houston game. Are we going to go against the hot hand? Steph's having none of that. The pull-up 28-footer in transition, and Oracle can feel it. So it's no secret who Boston is going to. Clay is on him, and Draymond with tremendous help defense here and not fouling Kyrie as he gets to the rim. Here we go out in transition. Uh-oh, we've got the numbers 3-on-2. Iguodala, the dunk. No, wrong. He bails out. KD's like, what in the hell are you doing? And it almost costs us the possession. But Steph, it was just one of those nights. He would not be denied. Around the world, finish at the rim with no shot blocker, putting us up 5 with a minute to go. And you could just put this down as one of his legendary performances. I know it's the regular season, but it was absolutely epic. So no 3 balls. Kyrie doing what he does. You see how he keeps you on the hip and gets the layup, but that's the strategy, right? You cannot allow the 3 with this point of the game and the score. And KD's going to go to the line. What is he going to do? Clank. So Boston still has life, and I'm getting nervous, man. Maybe because I said the Warriors would not lose this game, but I don't know. This was the most nerve-wracking game of the year for me. Kyrie and Draymond, again, understanding the strategy, not letting him pull up for 3. This time they get it to Steph, and he knocks the free throws down, but Boston would not be done. It's Rozier again. The Louisville product hits a 3. And then here we go. Someone was asking me about this. So there was 2 violations on the play. Well, one was wrongly called. So if the ball doesn't hit the rim, that's a violation. You see it hit the rim, but you see Kyrie's foot stepping in. He cannot go over that line and step down before it gets to the rim. So either way, it was a right call, even though it was a missed call. And then Steph goes to the line and seals the deal with his 48th and 49th point in this battle, man. Best game of the year easily. And I want to point something out. Gordon Hayward will be healthy in June, y'all. So if we see this team again in June, they're going to have another weapon. Will he be 100%? I doubt it. But it will be a third guy for Kyrie. If Jaylen Brown's going to be there, you see the 2 embrace. And it's really true. I buy into it. They bring the best out in each other. And it was an epic game. And could this be an MVP race? I brought up KD chasing the MVP. Steph has just entered his name into that race. I'm out, y'all.